My name's JR. Welcome to the game room. Yeah, so, PlayStation, I try to divide up my collection by brand, and so this is my PlayStation section. One of the great things that I like to have in my collection is the ability to play all the games. So, for this, we have the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, also PlayStation 4 hooked up so that I can not only collect the games, but play them. Probably my favorite is playing right now, Uncharted. I think that's one of probably the best series on the PlayStation 3, in my opinion.
It is really good. Now, which Uncharted game is your favorite?
It's hard to pick. I love the first one just because it was so unique, and so I loved it the first time playing
4
through.
is my favorite.
Here, PlayStation 2, again, a lot of my collection is around systems, so I got a pretty good fair amount of PlayStation 2 games that I love to play. They're not necessarily shelfware or highly collectible. They're just the fun games that I like to play. I still play Smuggler's Run from the original release. I think that's one of the most awesome games that they had. PlayStation 2 has a good spot in my heart.
I see some PS4 and PS5 games down there. So would you consider yourself not only a retro gamer, but also a modern gamer as well?
I am. Yeah. Now, when it comes to PlayStation, I my heart belongs to Xbox, as you guys will see in a little bit.
Yep.
Mostly what I like to collect and play is on Xbox. Huge Minecraft fan, obviously. My wife and I love to play Minecraft, so spend a lot of hours playing that. But for the most part, what I like to play is either going to be on the Xbox or if it's retro, Nintendo.
Speaking of Nintendo,
here's my Nintendo collection. I think collecting for me started just like most people. I grew up in the 80s. I love playing Nintendo. It just started off with getting a Nintendo to play, to kind of that nostalgia feeling, and then it kind of snowballed from there. Not only played Nintendo, but Super Nintendo. Then it started to where I wanted to get one in a box, and then it became, well, if I got that one in a box, I wanted the different boxes and the different variations of the boxes.
So tell me about this section here, because I'm seeing a lot of beautiful pieces, collection pieces here.
Yes, Game Boy. So, again, I can still remember the Christmas morning, waking up, going over. Unfortunately now for the collector in me, I remember tearing open the box. But I still cringe. I still have the video of that. But just anything Game Boy. I love finding those little hidden gems. Finding boxes in such great shape, for its age, and even have to have one of every color.
Oh man, that's incredible. I think that you might be the first collector that I've done a tour of that has all of the colors in the box. Or is that all of them?
That is all the standard. Now, there's special editions, obviously, that I do not have.
Man.
Got the Tommy Hilfiger edition.
Yeah, that's one you don't see very often. Now, I'll tell you one thing that's catching my eye in this section. It's the e-reader bundle in the box.
Yeah, so this is a pretty crispy little guy here too. So it's hard to find, and even on eBay, it's hard to find in this condition.
Oh yeah.
But so this one here, it is open. Unfortunately, it's not new in box, but it's still in great condition and complete, which is awesome
really
to
nice.
have there. But yes. And then, of course, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, gotta love those systems. Had to have them in box as well, so it's one just, to continue my Nintendo collection.
Now, another thing over here is a couple of things, actually. So first off, I see the Switch 2 up there. Now, the reason that I'm pointing that out is because I believe that this is the first collection tour that I have done where the collector has a Switch 2, because I've only done 2 collection tours since the Switch 2 came out. So I want to ask you, what are you thinking about the Switch 2 so far?
Well, I tell you, I bought it. I got actually a great deal on it, so I bought it, and I absolutely love Mario Kart, and I was hesitant to buy Donkey Kong. It wasn't something that I thought I would love. Ended up buying Donkey Kong, and I tell you, I've loved every minute of it.
It's a fantastic game.
The co-op, my wife and I play it.
Nice.
So we've been playing that for probably the last 2 weeks, and I just love it. I think it's going to be one of my favorite games.
I wanted to ask you about these Nintendo cards here. What's the story behind those?
Well, they were in a bulk lot. Didn't even know they were in there. So I actually bought a large box of actually baseball cards, believe it or not. And so through that, I was going through the box and found what is very crisp, the Nintendo cards. So I was pretty excited to find them, actually.
Tell me about this Trinitron.
Oh, the Trinitron, all 350 pounds of it. So yeah, so I originally had like a 24-inch Trinitron, and so I was on Facebook Marketplace, found it for like $20 with the stand. Yeah, no, anytime I'm playing retro games, the original Nintendo, even the Super Nintendo, it always looks better on on the Trinitron.
Oh yeah, that TV, it just has a fantastic image for retro gaming for sure.
No doubt. My main console area, so this is where I keep all my consoles that I get to play. A lot of what you see in the boxes are still in the box. I don't like to take them out every time I want to play a game, so basically I have all the consoles hooked up so that I can play them anytime I need to.
Something cool you were telling me earlier. So first off, for those who can't tell, this is a projector, which is cool. So it's kind of like a home theater room. You can see all the chairs there, which is cool. So this must be a fun place to watch movies. But something cool that you were telling me earlier is that your consoles here, you can actually play them two different ways, right?
Correct. So right now as they stand, they're all run to the Samsung flat screen on the wall. But I do have the ability to switch it to the screen. So, on some of the games that we like to have fun with as a family, we can throw it up on the screen, Mario parties, things like that. Everybody has a chair, everybody's playing, and a great view, obviously, having it up on the big screen. But yeah, so having the ability to switch back, I actually, between the 3 TVs, is great.
So how about this table right here?
Yeah, so, we had this little coffee table. We were basically going to throw it away. And I thought, well, you know what? I have a little Cricut vinyl machine. I thought, well, why not turn it into a game room table? So just with a little bit of printing and sourcing out the right font, I was able to put together a little Nintendo table. Probably my biggest project that I've had is my little Zelda cabinet. So originally came across a guy on Facebook that was selling some very dilapidated old arcade machines. So I got to pick up this guy. It was originally a Double Dragon cabinet. And just with my love of Zelda, I thought, well, why not make a Zelda themed cabinet? So, I'm able to run a lot of my backup games. And so it's great, it's fun, it's a novelty. And if you really need to, you can use the quarter.
Well, dude, I have to say, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. You did an amazing job on that.
Of my collection, this is probably my favorite spot, my Zelda. It's one of my favorite games. One of my earliest childhood memories of getting a Nintendo for Christmas. Me and my brother going to our room. I was on the top bunk, he was on the bottom bunk. I had the map, he was playing, and so that stuck with me. I think Zelda Breath of the Wild is probably one of the best games ever made. I love it, and I've played through it probably 10, 12 times actually. Zelda throughout the years just has been a great game, great systems, and so that's probably one of my favorites of all times. And I try to get all the variations I can. So whether it's the Gold Edition, the Gray Classic Series, eventually I'd like to continue to get in box the N64 versions, and right now just the games is what I got. So
if you had to pick one item here that is probably your favorite of this collection we're looking at now, what would it be?
Or the 3DS Zelda Edition. I just think it's probably one of the most beautiful systems. If you've seen the Zelda editions, I think it's one of my favorite is the 3DS Zelda.
The Sega closet.
So, Sega was my second passion. Obviously, Nintendo was my first, but I grew up with a Sega as well. Wanted to come back and just like for the same nostalgia reasons, collect all the systems and the variations. And we have the base set, the Sega CD Model 1 in a box, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, probably something that not a lot of people get to see. Actual modem for the Sega Saturn.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it before.
Yeah, so some people didn't know about this. This came out, and matter of fact, it was my first experience getting online was through my Sega Saturn.
So now we get to the main event.
The main event. So you haven't seen a lot of games coming into this in a lot of my systems, but this is where the games get heavy. This is actually the entire North American release of Xbox games. So original Xbox. I had actually bought a closeout video game store. I bought out their Xbox collection, and so I ended up with like 1,400 Xbox games, a lot of duplicates, a lot of disc only. So I kept one of everything that was unique, kept the best copy of it, and kind of got rid of the rest. Actually, it paid for the entire collection. So by the time I sold all the duplicates, I'd made back all my money. So I really didn't have much invested in it. And I was sitting at about 350. And then, that was before COVID. Then after COVID, I decided to kind of get a little more aggressive with completing the set. And I think you mentioned in one of your videos before too, one of the things when COVID started spiking prices, Xbox was not really jumping like you saw on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. So there's a lot of great prices with the Xbox games, so you could complete the set at a reasonable price. So some of the great games that we have, you can see up top, those are probably the heavy hitters of the collection. Futurama, Teen Titans, and of course the infamous the Guy game up there on the top. That's probably one of the more known games for the collection as being unique. Steel Battalion in a box, obviously that's an awesome mech game. If you ever had an opportunity to play it. Depending which list you look at, there's about 886, 889 Black Label games. I have somewhere right around over 1,000. I did pick up some of the platinum hits as I was going through. If I found a great deal on it, I didn't actively seek out the platinum hits. I really wanted the entire Black Label. But it's hard not to pick them up when you find a great deal. I initially got them and got half of it done. It sat. When I really got aggressive, it took me about a year to finish off the whole set.
Well, JR, your collection is awesome. One of the more impressive collections I've seen in a while. Anything else you want to mention or showcase before we close it out?
I love video games. I love collecting, and it's still possible to find great deals out there. I'm still expanding every day. It is a little bit harder to find the great deals, but no, it's if you have a passion for it, and you can still do it. The Xbox is still a great priced video game system, so you can still go out and find great games at great deals. So
absolutely, beautifully said. Well, JR, appreciate you letting me come here and film your collection, and it's an honor to have your collection as part of the RetroWolf collection tour series.
Appreciate you coming out.